How did acting come into your life? And do you remember the very first role you did and how it made you feel?
It was at school, at primary school. I remember being in like a sort of school Christmas play, playing like, you know, one of the dad of the kids who were waiting for Santa Claus. And I just really, something happened, something went wrong, and I kind of got a laugh. And I remember thinking, oh, I see. And then when I was in, and I used to play a lot on my own. I used to sort of make up stories on my own, and sort of, so my imagination was a very big tool in my sort of, you know, I guess mental health as a child. And then when I was at high school, I had a really great English teacher. I think, you know, often English teachers, especially in schools where they don't have a drama department, English teachers are the sort of portal to many actors becoming actors. And I was, for me, I had a lovely lady, and she invited me into the drama group, and I started doing plays. And I just sort of did plays, you know, sometimes at school. Then when I left, it was about a year or so before I went away, I did sort of, you know, the local theatre groups and things, I did a couple of things, and then I went to drama school. So I just stuck to it. I found something I was good at, and I just stuck to it.
Yeah, when did you realize you were good at it?
Like pretty early on. Like I mean, it's funny when you are in a situation where I was told I was not good at anything, you know, by my dad, and suddenly I did this thing that was sort of out with his control, and I could tell by the audience's reaction to me and people at school that I was better at it than them, and they were quite, you know, in awe of that. And so I suddenly was like, oh, I see. Something seemed easy to me. Because I think acting should be easy. I don't think it should be difficult.
Your feature film debut, Ian Sellers Prague, co-starring Sandine Bonnaire and Bruno Ganz, and you premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, so that's a nice elevation, right?
Yes.
And then the movies that you had introducing you to American audiences. When you cross the pond, things are a little different. Circle of Friends, GoldenEye, James Bond film, Emma, X2, X-Men United. So there are some things that you had to get used to. One of them was just America.
Yes. Well, I mean, I didn't go to America until I was 30. So like I had a whole other life. And also, you know, there's a lot of popular culture in America. I'm still catching up. I still every day say, how do you say that in American? Because I've been here 25 years. And so yes, there was a lot I had to do, like, you know, things that people would say, oh, you're so cheeky, I'm going to slap you on the fanny. I was like, no, you're not. Because if you know what that means in Britain, you'll know that.
Well, I think if you know what that means in America, too. All right.
It means something different in Britain, let me tell you.
Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Yes, moving on.
You were actually in, like, even learning how to pronounce the town you were in.
Oh, yeah, so I didn't know that Tucson was pronounced Tucson. I thought it was pronounced Tucson, because that's how it's spelled. And at the read-through, I couldn't believe they gave me this part. I'm always sort of astounded that people are giving me these parts. Not because I don't think I'm good, but I just think, why? I'm not, you know, I'd never done a big Hollywood movie. It was my first movie in America, and they gave me the lead boy in this Hollywood film. And I wasn't even American, never played an American before. Anyway, they did, so I should shut up. But
the check has been cashed.
Yes, exactly. But at the read-through, the first girl, because it's set in Tucson, and the first girl who said blah 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 Tucson, I kind of went thinking she'd made a mistake.
She mispronounced it.
And then somebody else said it, and I was like, oh, wait. And so when it came my turn to say it, I was like, am I going to say Tucson? Am I going to stick to my guns and say Tucson? Or am I going to say Tucson like everybody else? So I said Tucson, and all was well.
Yeah. Another thing that made you realize how good you were, because I want you to own this, Cabaret, you opened on Broadway. You won the Tony for Best Actor in a Musical.
Ah, yes. Yes, I did.
Then you've had the ability to do what not all actors have been able to do, and you got introduced to a whole new generation, and with Spy Kids trilogy. So it's fun when you have people who are like my age who go, oh yeah, he was in, and then you get people like one of our producers over here, Connie. She's like, I'm so excited, he was in Spy Kids.
Yes. Well, it's the thing about having, you know, being a bit older. Oh, there I am, Mr. Floop. I you know, what's interesting is when you sort of can try and guess what it is that when people come up to you, they're going to recognize you from. And so there's a whole sort of different, I mean, I really love, actually, I'm so happy that I did the Spy Kids films, because people, young adults, come up to me and I remember when it changed. I remember the exact moment when, you know, young adults are sort of like, hey, oh yeah, you're the famous guy. And then suddenly they were like, you were part of my childhood, and they come up to you with this sort of magical.
When you're when you're part of someone's
and so
childhood.
I do genuinely. And now the great thing about Spy Kids is that it doesn't seem to have fallen off. Kids now still watch it, so it's kept going. That young people And there's a film I'm going to do in Italy soon, and the director of it said that Spy Kids is his favourite film. And I mean, I sort of think, well, that's great. Now I'm getting jobs from people who are...
But
get them while they're young. They'll be employing you in 20 years.
You're not pigeonholed into your role also,
No, that's
because
true.
then you're on The Good Wife, playing something completely different.
There was one point I was doing a series of The Good Wife whilst performing on Broadway at the same time. So it was kind of like this schizophrenic thing. I would be playing this, buttoned up, crazy politician person in the day, and then I'd go to the theatre and basically take all my clothes off and get my nipples coloured and glittered, and I realised I'd kind of made a mistake and was filming The Good Wife at the same time. I didn't intend to. It was sort of anyway. It's a long story, but involving vulgar some. But so I thought, what am I going to do? And so I made the party come to me, and I got this booze company to sponsor the bar. I had a full bar
in your dressing room.
In my dressing room, and so everyone would come. It was called Club Cumming, and everyone came, and all the cast and people would drop by, and sometimes audience members would try and buy tickets. So they can have 2 tickets for Cabaret and 2 tickets for Club Cumming, and people were like, it's only his dressing room, you can't come. I would sometimes do a pop-up Club Cumming where I'd DJ and my band would play and we'd have guests, and then I thought, oh, wouldn't that be great if that spirit, because it's a really, what I loved about it was, our motto at Club Cumming is all ages, all genders, all colours, all sexualities, where kindness is all and anything could happen. And that sort of idea, that from those pop-up things, I thought, wouldn't it be great to have that in an actual bar? So I've got now this little club in New York City in the East Village, and it is like that. I was just there night before last.
You've had so much packed into your life, obviously, since childhood to now. So Alan Cumming is not acting his age. Tell us about this production.
Well, this is the cabaret show that I'm doing here in Texas this week, in Houston and Dallas and San Antonio, and it's like I have my band, I tell stories, I sing songs, and I love doing these kind of shows because they're really intimate. They're about me, I'm not playing a character. It's my stories about what I feel, and it's all under the umbrella theme of getting older, which is, I'm sorry to say, something we're all doing. And I'm fascinated by why we as a culture have decided this thing that is my water is inevitable. Oh my gosh.
You know what that is, by the way.
It's delicious.
Do you have Topo Chicos in Scotland?
Not in Scotland, but we have it in New York. But this is a limey flavour I've not had before. So cheers, everybody.
Okay, there you go. All right. So yes, we're all getting older. You're playing this role
we're all
on
getting
stage.
older.
Yes.
And I split it in my hair. There we are. And it's just a really fun. I'm intrigued about why we've decided that something that is inevitable. Why have we made that to be the worst possible thing that could happen to us? Do you know what I mean? It's a really fascinating sort of self-fulfilling prophecy of doom. And because in other cultures, people are sort of older people are venerated and the aging process. And I really like getting older. Actually, I know I'm in the minority. And
what do you like best about it?
I like having wisdom. I like actually thinking, oh yeah, this has happened before, and maybe I'll make a better decision this time. Things like that. And I'm still able to do everything that I get achy. I did a dance. I did this. I decided.
Somehow when he says it with a Scottish accent, I get achy. It sounds sexy, I have to say.
Well, thanks, flirting with me.
Wink, wink.
I did this dance theatre. Had this crazy idea like a couple of years ago. I decided to do this solo dance theatre piece about Robert Burns, and so I basically became a dancer at age 57. I wouldn't recommend it, and that's when I first sort of really felt. But any dancer has a achy body. But I just really like that sort of. I'm enjoying getting older. I enjoy the fact that I'm going to do a film with these directors who first saw me in Spy Kids when they were children. I mean, that's such an amazing thing that you have that connection with the past. And there's obviously there's downsides. I talk about in the show about when I go to the dermatologist, there's obviously things there that you're reminded about that aren't so great about getting older. Yeah, I won't go. It's too early to talk about my testicles, but they feature heavily. Okay, Alan. And I mean heavily.
Alan, thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. So is that the end? As testicles got us off the air?
No, you're good, because while your testicles are dropping, we got other things that are dropping, but we are in Houston, plastic surgery capital of the world. So anyway, well, not really, but kind of. Yeah, we know what to do.
I also am going to be the last person on American television. They were invented here, by the way.
What,
plastic surgery?
No, these things.
Plastic boobs?
Yes. Not plastic boobs, but anyway.
Implants.
All right.
Have you got implants?
Implants, yes.
Oh.
Yes, there you didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
All
They're
right.
looking good.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and have a great show.
Thank you very much.